guys, so today I have swatches of 10 polishes from Picture Polish. I have the 5 new shades that just recently released with the blogger collaborations, and then I also have 5 other shades straight from Picture Polish to review that I picked out, and clearly I had a thing for greens at the time. These 5 came from livelovepolish.com, and I will link them down below where you can find Picture Polish if you're in the US. These 5 came directly from Picture Polish if you are in Australia, or I think there's a few different places that they will ship to from the actual Picture Polish website. So I will link those 2 sites down below, and I will get into the swatches. So I'm going to start with the ones that I got directly from Picture Polish. Some of these can be found on livelovepolish.com, so I will link direct links to all the ones that can be found there down below. This first one is Heavy Metal, and this is a silver micro glitter in a kind of blackish gray jelly base. So here's one coat. So this one is almost completely opaque in one coat. I say almost because it looks in person like it's completely opaque, but in my picture you'll see there are still some gaps that I didn't even notice until after the picture was taken. But this polish is really thick, so I'm trying my best to make it cover in one coat rather than layer a second coat over it because it is so thick. Just like extra coverage in bald areas and whatnot, which I think is probably better than a full second coat. This dries very textured. It is a lot of glitter, so you'll definitely want a top coat, maybe even 2 coats of top coat, depending on how thick the one that you use is, to smooth it out, and it is going to be difficult to remove. So there is 1 coat of Heavy Metal. The next polish is Demeter, and this is a brown, like a reddish brown. It's a very, very warm brown with scattered silver holographic microflakies. So here is 1 coat. This one has great coverage on the first coat, just a few lighter spots. I do feel like it can deepen up quite a bit. Fantastic formula on this one as well, and all of these scattered holographics that Picture Polish does are my favorite kind of polishes. So here's 2 coats. This one covers completely in 2. You can see that second coat really does deepen the color to match what's in the bottle. This actually dries pretty shiny, so you shouldn't need a top coat, and those flakies, because they are micro, little itty bitty tiny flakies, are going to dry really flat, and they're going to be really easy to remove. So there is 2 coats of Demeter. The next polish is called Jealousy, and this is a silver and green micro glitter, like regular silver, not holographic silver, in a greenish jelly base. So here's 1 coat. Pretty good coverage on the first coat with this one as well. It's obviously not completely opaque, but it does cover very well. Great formula too. There's a lot of glitter in this one, so I was kind of expecting it to be thick when I first used it, like Heavy Metal was, but it's not at all. Really good formula. So here is 2 coats, and this one covers completely in 2. It also dries pretty textured because there is a lot of micro glitter in there, so you will definitely want top coat, and it is probably going to be a little bit difficult to remove as well. So there is 2 coats of Jealousy. The next polish is called Enchanting, and this is like a jade green. It is showing up a little bit more blue on camera with those silver holographic microflakies. So here is 1 coat. This one again covers really well on the first coat. It's not completely opaque, but it is very close, and fantastic formula on this one as well. So here's 2 coats, and this one covers completely in 2. This one is just like Demeter in that those flakies will lay flat and they will not be difficult to remove. So there is 2 coats of Enchanting. The next polish is called Camo, and this is a camo green cream. So here's 1 coat. And this one is completely opaque in 1 coat. The formula is definitely on the thicker side. I don't think it's too thick, but it is definitely thick. It probably will be too thick for some people. That does help with the opacity though. So there is 1 coat of Camo. Now starting with the polishes that came directly from Live Love Polish, and I will have links to all of these down below. The first one is Holo On top, and this is a silver micro flaky topper. And since I have Camo on already, I'm layering that one over Camo. So here is 1 coat. So this is very, very dense for a topper. I do have another picture that I will show of it in 3 coats on its own, and I do think I prefer it that way because it is, I'm trying to thin out the coats even, and it's very, very dense, I think, to be considered a topper. So there is 1 coat of Holo On top over Camo. The next polish is called Sunflower, and this is a golden yellow with those silver holographic microflakies. So here's 1 coat. So this one is a bit sheer on the first coat because it is a yellow, it's a lighter color. Great formula on this one. So here is 2 coats. So you can see that this one dries really dark compared to how it applies. I can still see my nail line a little bit, so I'm going to do a third. So here's 3 coats. And this one does cover completely in 3. These have little tiny microflakies, so they're not going to dry rough to the touch, and they're not going to be difficult to remove. So there is 3 coats of Sunflower. The next polish is called Saltwater, and this is a Tiffany blue with those silver holographic microflakies. So here's 1 coat. This one is a lighter color, so it's also a bit sheer on the first coat. Fantastic formula on this one as well. So here's 2 coats. This one is still just a little bit sheer on that second coat, so I'm going to do a third. And again, those microflakies, they dry flat, and they're not difficult to remove at all either. So here's 3 coats, and this one does cover completely in 3. Beautiful color. So there is 3 coats of Saltwater. The next polish is called Rose, and this is a pinky red with those silver holographic microflakies. So here's 1 coat. So this covers really well on the first coat. You can't quite see it on camera, but there is still a bit of my nail line showing, so I'm going to do a second. Great formula on this one, and that the color of the polish almost gives those silver flakies like a pink appearance. So here's 2 coats. This one does cover completely in 2. Again, microflakies, so they are not going to be rough or textured at all, and they're going to be easy to remove. So there is 2 coats of Rose. And the last polish is called Live Love Polish, and it is the Live Love Polish exclusive. This one is a navy blue jelly base with a ton of silver holographic micro glitter in varying sizes. So here's 1 coat. And this one actually covers really well on the first coat, and you get a good amount of glitter out. I'm not having to do any fishing or swirling at all to get those slightly larger ones out. Great formula on this one as well. Actually, Heavy Metal, because Heavy Metal was a lot thicker, is I think the first picture polish that I've ever had that I didn't care for the formula. So here is 2 coats. This one covers completely in 2. It is going to dry a bit rough because of that glitter that's in there, and those larger pieces of glitter especially are probably going to stick to the nail when you remove it. So there is 2 coats of Live Love Polish. So Saltwater is my favorite. I think Saltwater is probably the favorite of quite a few people, actually, because it is such a nice, it's got those little tiny holographic flakes. It's a scattered holographic, but they're like little itty bitty tiny flakies. And then it's like that perfect Tiffany blue color. And the mix of those two is just incredible. So by far my favorite. So those are my picture polish swatches. Again, some of those can be found on Live Love Polish. Some of them can be found on the Picture Polish website. I will link both down below. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later.